This is the one simple VWAP that I use to find the cleanest trending moves, as well as get involved at one of the best prices to know if I'm going to be right or wrong. Now this day specifically, you can see that we had a bearish pre-market here on the left side. Sellers are in control overnight underneath this black VWAP and the dark blue, which is the previous day's 9:30 New York open. So what I like to do is zoom out, right, to know what the context is of the open comes in bullish, but doesn't necessarily mean I'm just going to jump into longs because we still have these two VWAPs above me potentially that could act as resistance. And I know the trend is actually more so down. I mean, you can see the matrix down here. Sellers are in control across the board. So I don't really want to be a buyer just because we're potentially moving higher for the first 10-15 minutes. So rather than getting induced into longs up here, if you were looking on the regular trading hours, right, not seeing that VWAP in your way, you might be looking for longs. But seeing that it's actually still lower highs and lower lows, once sellers take back the New York VWAP saying, yeah, we are 100% back in control, now you can go try to go get the next lower low after this just painted the lower high, right? So the trend is ultimately down. So don't get too zoomed in on those first 10, 15, maybe even 30 minutes. Wait for the right side of VWAP to be broken again, this New York one, and you can find the nice trending moves back in the direction. Now let's go to the next day on Friday when we took a loss, trading off that same New York VWAP, right? We have a bullish open, but the difference today is we are already above this black overnight VWAP. So trend is bullish. Right, so I don't need to wait for the break above New York like we did yesterday. We're already above it. Full VWAP alignment for longs. We get the first break of opening range high here, right, which is the first 15 minutes of the New York session. All of this is explained in Futures 2.0, which is my full strategy on ASFX TV. You can find that down below for free. I don't want to chase that first break of open range high. A lot of the time, it's just inducing you to get in long at a bad price, and then it actually sometimes just reverses, right? So don't chase that, but see it as buyers are in control. So when we get back to this New York VWAP, this is the bounce play. I want to be long, saying buyers are going to defend this level, build our higher low. Let's go make the next higher high. Now the stop loss on this one, you can see brutally just wicked out. Definitely my fault. The stop loss isn't right at a level, right? In Futures 2.0, I will teach. The stop loss never wants to be at current structure. So I guess on this one, it'd be like right there. That's just way too tight. You're definitely going to get wicked out a lot on that one. I'm kind of just floating between that current structure here and the opening range low down here. So we know a higher low could be formed anywhere within there. So I'm kind of hoping my stop loss is safe enough of saying don't build a higher low down here. Well, that's exactly what it did, right? Where if I let a stop loss at opening range low here, as long as it doesn't make a new low of day, I want to be a buyer. That sounds about right. So rather than putting the stop loss here, I probably should have survived because I had a lower stop loss. But regardless, I'm not going to just flip to a short because I was stopped out on a long. We're still above that black overnight VWAP. The trend is still more so bullish. So what do? We wait, see if we can get another re-entry. I could have maybe bought it back immediately after getting stopped out. Now we're back above New York. It is kind of tough to do. Saying I just took a loss. Do I want to double down on the longs again? Right, get back in? And you definitely probably should. You would want to, saying, yeah, I probably wasn't wrong. I was just stopped out early. I should have had a lower stop. So I should still be in that first trade. Right, when you think about it, but we let it drift a little bit higher, confirming that buyers are going to hold this strength. And then we get another retest to New York. Here's our higher low, it looks like, the higher low back here, and the higher low from the open. So we're still building bullish structure underneath. So yeah, I got to be a buyer. I wanted to be a buyer. I was a buyer. I was stopped out for really no good reason. And it's the same exact price that I bought it at earlier. I can now get another crack at it. So I give it another long, saying structure is still bullish, and we make the money back on a nice exit for a new high day up here, right? You can see buyers are in across the board. Just like yesterday, sellers were in across the board. I see full VWAP alignment on all three indices, NQ, YM, and ES. So I think the lesson today is price is what pays. It's around New York VWAP. But the stop loss, you don't want it to have to go through this much drawdown, right? But ideally, yes, you have a stop loss that allows it to play the whole idea through. Tell me when I'm wrong, then get me out of the trade. I'm not wrong here. Right? I'm not saying I don't want to be a buyer anymore. So why is the stop loss there, right? So lesson learned, it's always going to happen sometimes when it looks like a big stop. You're like, I don't want to be a buyer down here. If I'm long up here and we get down here, yeah, I don't like the trade. Get me out. But that's not necessarily true because then you see it sweep yourself out, gets back above, and you're saying, yeah, man, I wish I was still long. That was a pretty silly stop loss. So I think the best thing to do is just be patient, wait for another re-entry, and I'm able to make it back. Not even just make back the loss. I still ended green, I think about $400 or so. So worst case scenario is I realize the loss, give up on the day. No, worst case scenario would be if I take the loss on a long here and now we're below New York, and I'm reading this as lower highs on top, right, like here, and I jump in a short. Then I just take 2 losses for no good reason, when I probably should still be in that first long. Right? Does that make sense? Don't just flip your bias because you were potentially wrong or stopped out. You may just be early. There's no new information saying, yeah, you want to be a seller. New information would be if we broke below VWAPs and structure is now turning bearish. So sticking with the long bias, waiting for another opportunity to get price at VWAP, right? Your longs are either going to come here when it breaks back above, or where I bought it at the VWAP. I don't want to be chasing the drift away and hope I just get continuous carry higher. I want to be long at this blue line one way or another, right? Similar to yesterday, how you want to be short at this blue line because we're looking for shorts in a bearish trend. You want to be close to VWAP. And if you're close to VWAP more times than not, like you look at this stop loss, if it makes a new high of day, yeah, I don't want to be a seller because now we're making higher highs with these higher lows on the bottom. So inverse today, I didn't follow that rule. I put a stop loss where a higher low was built, another higher low, another higher low. It's a fully bullish trend, and I'm out of a long. So good lessons, good to make the money. End the day green, finish off a nice week, first week of the year. So hopefully you guys made money as well. Like I said, all of this is explained on Futures 2.0. It's on ASFX TV. You guys get your first month free down below. It's where we're live streaming every morning as well. So go through the course, go through the strategies, and you'll see. Here's the long there. ES looked a little bit different. Austin and Randy were in the longs on ES. That paid beautifully. I got stopped out first. And then the shorts the day prior. You can see there's the break below New York. So all the videos and all the trades you see here, we're taking them live on stream every day. So make sure you join there. And check out the Top 1 sale. Huge sale going on right now. So if you need a new account with them, code Evan's always running the best deal. But yeah, if you got any questions on VWAP, go through the strategy, join the stream, ask questions, leave a comment down below, whatever you want. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys on stream tomorrow morning.